Another day, another major success story for the Big Apple with Zohran Mamdani at the helm. Today, it's infrastructure time, with Mamdani announcing plans to modernize and redevelop the city-owned sections of the Brooklyn-Queens Expressway, otherwise known as the BQE. But let's hear about it from the man himself.
I'm standing under the Brooklyn-Queens Expressway. It's nearly 70 years old, and it's long past its shelf life. While it's still safe to drive on, for now, we can't wait any longer. We're done kicking the can down the road. That's why we're announcing a plan to repair the city-owned section of the BQE, known as BQE Central. Before we talk about how we're fixing the BQE, let's talk about how we got here.
Hey, okay.
The BQE was built by New York's most famous, or infamous, urban planner, Robert Moses. It was part of his grand vision of building highways across New York City for a population that more and more wanted to drive their own cars. But Robert Moses is another video entirely.
Yeah, that's true. Just real quick, Robert Moses, completely infamous racist guy, bulldozed Black and Latino homes to make way for parks and highways, and then also even made sure that the bridges on the parkways connecting New York City beaches to Long Island were low enough to keep city buses, which would likely be carrying poor minorities, from passing underneath. So this guy was a real piece of work. But anyway, let's continue with Zohran Mamdani here.
He finished the BQE Central in 1954. It was only designed to handle around 50,000 car trips a day and last for 50 years. But here we are, 70 years later, with more than 130,000 vehicles driving on it daily, including 13,000 heavy trucks. You do the math. This isn't a new problem. For decades, prior administrations have been trying to figure out a way to address the urgently needed repairs of the BQE.
Mayor de Blasio has formed a new panel to evaluate options to replace the BQE.
Mayor Adams unveiling a new vision for a reimagined Brooklyn-Queens Expressway.
Every year we don't do something about the BQE, it costs the city $160 million. But all we have to show for it is this. So here's the plan. We're going to repair the 1.5 miles of BQE Central, which is the only part of the highway actually controlled by the city.
That's crazy.
We'll fix the aging concrete and triple cantilever section that's most in need of repair. We'll build a temporary road for traffic, which avoids sending tens of thousands of cars and trucks into local streets and keeps the highway operable during construction.
That's one of like
this
the
will
major,
extend the
I think, best announcements from this whole thing is like, listen, we're gonna fix it, but don't worry, it's not gonna impact your daily, routine and
life of the BQE for another 40 years. This plan allows us to safely fix the current problem without slowing our city down and wasting decades more waiting while the BQE continues to get worse. This won't be easy, won't be quick, but we're done waiting on one of the city's most severe infrastructure issues. Let's get to work.
Nice. Oh man, and he's so good at the videos too, right? Like, come on, dude. Like, they're always so well produced. This is such a good announcement, and people online already, praising him. One person said, I literally stopped doom scrolling because I saw this guy and thought, hey, I bet this will be interesting. Think about that. A mayor's boring announcement about street repairs. It's not boring. It's awesome. It was interesting. Okay, there we go. I watched it like I watch YouTube videos about urban history. Man's a genius. Another user writing here, Mayor Mamdani is making it painfully obvious that elected officials can do things to help their constituents when you elect people who actually want to. For non-New Yorkers, this particular stretch of the BQE is a traffic and driving nightmare. And here is Zohran Mamdani using the best way to use taxpayer funds is to actually fix things that impact the everyday person, right, in the city of New York. He is utilizing the city services, the money, and also the infrastructure and saying, wait, we can make this better. Let's make this better. And that is why he is such a threat to other politicians, because he actually does his damn job. And this isn't, of course, it's a Zohran Mamdani video on USDS. We have to jump in with another awesome Mamdani announcement, this time about the Renew crew. And I will let Zohran Mamdani explain it for himself here. It is absolutely dynamite. Let's take a look.
So here at Dry Harbor Playground, days are filled with the sound of sneakers on the basketball court, the crack of a bat on the baseball field, and kids perched on top of the ship's structure shouting, all hands on deck, which makes sense for a park called Dry Harbor. But even if that ship may have never set sail, it still has a captain, and every captain needs a crew. Today, that crew is here. Say hello to New York City's first ever Renew crew.
What's the Renew crew? Hey, what's the Renew crew?
This is a team dedicated to transforming playgrounds, sports courts, and rec centers at parks across the 5 boroughs. The basketball hoop that is hanging on for dear life. The water fountain that has not worked since spring, or the fence that looks like it's about to give up entirely. If it is broken, this crew will fix it.
There we go. So that is what the Renew crew is. Zohran Mamdani also, on the same day he announces this amazing infrastructure plan, he also says we're going to be modernizing and fixing and helping, dilapidated or broken playgrounds and basketball courts and pitches and whatever it may be that are city owned and run and operated so that they can actually be utilized to their fullest potential by New York City children. So let's continue.
The overgrown tennis court, the rusted swing set, the bench that needs a new coat of paint. If it is run down, this crew will renew it. No longer will New Yorkers have to wait months for city government to fix their parks and their playgrounds. The Renew crew will show up, get the job done, and move on to the next location that needs them. This kind of efficiency is long overdue.
100%. Efficiency in the government is basically an oxymoron, right? It never happens. However, here is Zohran continuing again and again to showcase that efficiency in the government is actually possible if you focus on the issues that people actually give a damn about and not getting, caught up in how much money we should send to a foreign government, perhaps, or how much, time we should spend on giving dinners to billionaires, when actually you can just spend your time focusing on the issues at hand that impact everyday people. And so Zohran is actually focusing on those things and giving a specific crew the power to go to these places every single day and fix them up. It's so genius. It's so dynamic.
Over the past 12 months alone, 311 has logged more than 5,000 complaints for the exact kind of work that this crew will tackle. Broken equipment, surfaces cracking underfoot, and fields overtaken by weeds. Our parks are the beating heart of the city, where families can relax together, where children can play, and where people can find peace amidst chaos. And we will not allow them to be neglected any longer. That is why we have invested $2.3 million to support the work of this team.
And you hear that number and you're like, $2.3 million for this? What the hell? Probably it's actually going to save money in the long run. You know what I mean? Like about all these 311 calls that have to be brought out by city services and stuff like that. Instead of just actually giving it to a specific crew with specific resources and a specific fund, it's probably going to save money. It's like, it's so simple and yet it's genius at the same time.
The Renew crew and the fixes they will deliver. We will build on the work we have already done to bring public excellence to public spaces across our city.
Hell yeah.
Since January, we have filled more than 191,000 potholes, cut the number of sidewalk sheds darkening our sidewalks by nearly 10%, and announced our plan to expand trash containerization to new districts in every borough, bringing more than 6,500 Empire bins from Woodside to Weeksville.
He truly is the infrastructure goat. Like, he is so damn good at just making the city more and more enjoyable to live in. Day after day, we're getting more and more announcements like this from Zohran Mamdani, from fixing up the infrastructure of roads and bridges and highways to fixing up local playgrounds and basketball courts and tennis pitches and all of these things, because this is a guy who actually cares about his constituents and actually loves his city and wants to see his city become the best version of itself it can be, right? And if you agree that Zohran Mamdani is one of the greatest leaders we have right now in America, and more mayors should be looking at New York as an example to how to fix up your city and to make it more enjoyable, be sure you subscribe to US Democratic Socialists, because we do progressive news and updates like this pretty much every single day. So be sure to subscribe, click the bell, and have a great day. I'm Iago Lashua. Have a good one. Goodbye.